Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy New Year to you. We're excited to be starting the new year with you powerfully and on purpose. That's something we just really take so much to heart, that every day we have an opportunity to choose to live on purpose and with great purpose. And January is such a great time to touch in and take a look at that. Today we have a special guest. We're doing a solo show, and if you've been following us for a while, know we normally have multiple guests per show. So it's a really special thing when we dedicate a full show to one of our amazing experts and bring in the conversation that we're going to have today. And one of the things that I think is so powerful about looking at the beginning of a new year is, are we listening? Are we living on purpose? Kind of where are we in that? How are we choosing to walk? And it's not with criticism, it's not with judgments, it's with curiosity. Where are we in that? And where do we want to be? That's why we've actually called this show Listening to Light. Our amazing expert has done this. She has listened to this calling on her heart and her life, and she stepped forward in it so powerfully and in such an inspiring way. We're thrilled and excited to share her with you today. I know you're going to love Dr. Ruth and be encouraged by all that she shares and taps into and brings to our conversation today. But let's really connect in so that we can get the most out of our time together today. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Both hands on the wheel, eyes open, but inwardly tuning in. Because believe me, I know there's something here for you today by the very nature that you tuned in. If you had not tuned in, it means that there is not something here for you. But by the very nature that you did, that means there is something here to support you and empower you and encourage you. And I want you to get the most out of our time together. So that does take being present in that inwardly stopping, pausing, breathing, and tuning in. Those of you who are not driving, I encourage you to put both feet on the floor, feel it supporting you. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Take a deep breath in through your nose. See how big you can make your belly? A little bit bigger. And then out through your mouth. Like through a straw. Great. Take another deep breath. And as we connect in this space and this breathing, keep breathing, lowers our stress levels, helps us become very present, brings oxygen to every cell in our body. And as we're doing that and enjoying all of that beautiful air, what is it you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, inspire you to walk on purpose, to listen, to bring forward those things that matter most to you? What is it you need today? And are willing to receive, because you have choice. What is it you need today? And are willing to receive. Just receive that information. It can come in all different ways, shapes, and forms. Picture, a memory, a sound, whatever it may be, receive. Beautiful. Take a deep breath, come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present. And I encourage you to take a moment and write down what was placed on your heart. Write down what it is that you need and are willing to receive. So easy to get distracted, to forget, to move on to another shiny thing and miss the very thing that you need. And I'm going to encourage you to actually be open to the way that need may be met in an unexpected way, not being attached to the how, but actually looking forward to being excited in the new and creative way that very need that you have is met. So looking forward with great excitement and anticipation. During the end of last year, we had the honor and the privilege of moving our program to the Influencer channel. So we're on the Influencer channel, we're on the Empowerment channel here at Voice America, and then we're honored to be syndicated on several additional platforms. And one of the things I felt great honor in moving to the Influencer channel, but also some powerful responsibility and excitement around that we each get to step into a place of influence. We get to choose to do that and recognize that we are, each of us, a person of influence. We just don't always own that. We're not always paying attention to that, but people are watching us. They are impacted by what we say, how we are, who we are, and what we do. It matters, and that's why we emphasize so much living on purpose and with purpose, pausing, taking a moment to choose on purpose, because it matters what we're choosing to echo out into the world, how we're choosing to be. So I celebrate that you're starting the year with us. You're leaning into that conversation. I look forward to all that will unfold during your year as you continue to step into living on purpose and with purpose and into that place of influence that you are called to be. So as we connect back in to what was laid on our heart today when we stopped, paused, and listened, I'd love to bring our amazing guest into the conversation. So Dr. Ruth, I would love for you to share a little bit about what was placed on your heart when we stopped, paused, and listened.
Thank you, Rebecca. What was placed on my heart was to believe in the possibilities, that everything God has been showing me that are possibilities are real. And that I will have the support to bring them all to life.
Oh, I love that. Believe in the possibilities and that you will have that support to bring them forward. Beautiful. Because I think you're right. Sometimes, not that you said this, but sometimes we can get caught up in trying to figure out that how, and I can't see where the support's coming. I don't see it there yet, and that can hold us back. So I love that you're leaning into believing in the possibilities and knowing the support will be there and it will come. It's just beautiful. Thank you for sharing. As I stop, pause, and look at this coming year, it's with excitement. It's with I just keep coming back to excitement and other words I can say that express that. Anticipation, looking forward to all of what will come. It's like opening a gift with all these new days in it, new year of what will come and what will get built and what we all get to be a part of and bringing forward and choosing to lean into and celebrate. And I think for myself, I'm so good at moving forward and crossing things off the list and creating another list to check things off. I don't always remember to celebrate and look forward and appreciate this moment, appreciate this time with each and every one of you. That's why I talk about pausing so much and celebrating. It's a message to myself as well, remembering to do that, to build that into my life and to appreciate where we are and all that we're looking forward to. So listeners, I'm curious about what's been placed on your heart. When we've stopped, paused, and listened, what is it that is speaking to your heart and spirit? What is it that you need or are being reminded of as we look ahead at this powerful year and all that is coming? And I encourage you, as we go to our first commercial break, to use this time as those commercials play in the background. There are updates and information that we want you to know about and we think will serve you. But as they're playing in the background, I encourage you to stay present in the conversation. Really give yourself a moment to stop, pause, listen, and integrate what is being spoken into your heart and spirit real time. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about walking on purpose, listening, and moving forward those things that matter most to you. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. These days, everyone is looking for information on staying young, healthy, and fit. The Voice America Health and Wellness Network is here to help you on your quest to better health and a better you. We talk about everything from diet, fitness, and aging to substance abuse, personal growth, mental health, and much more. Learn from our experts who cover health and wellness from traditional and holistic perspectives. Tune in to the Voice America Health and Wellness Network. Healthy living starts here.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
This is the Voice America Influencers Channel. Be inspired. You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you really gave yourself time to stop, pause, listen, and integrate all that is being spoken into your heart and spirit so it actually can become part of you, not separate and on the to-do list to someday get to, but actually incorporated into you and into your life on a cellular level, so that when you get ready to go back out in the world, this is becoming part of you and supporting you on your journey. Now, we got to hear a little bit from our amazing guest in the opening segment when she shared from her heart about believing in the possibilities. And I just loved the feel and energy of that, and that the support will come. It will be there. We'll have that. And I think that's an important reminder for all of us, especially as we're looking at a brand new year and all that we're bringing forward. And I wanted to introduce Dr. Ruth Anderson a little bit more, so you know more than her voice and her heart, which are amazing, but I want you to know a little bit of her background as well. So Dr. Ruth Anderson is a lifelong student. She is a teacher, an international best-selling and award-winning author, radio show host. She retired from a career in special education and school administration to embrace her second calling as an intuitive reader and healer, Reverend of the Church of Inner Light, and founder of the Open Clinic and Enlightened World. She is absolutely passionate about helping light workers bring their work, bring their light and message to more people around the world. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Dr. Ruth Anderson to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. It is such a pleasure to be with you.
I am thrilled to have you here today. I'm looking forward to our conversation. And I wanted to start it off with, because listeners, we have lots of things we're going to be sharing, and today's a special day that you have a special opportunity that Dr. Ruth's making available. So I want you to listen in and get to know her a little bit more, and then we will share about that special opportunity, because I always like to know about opportunities as they come. So as we look at your calling to help people and to especially light workers, and you founded and created all of these things, can you share why this work is personally so important to you?
A couple of years ago, I was guided to create a Renaissance of One, which was to go out and make a positive difference in the world in whatever way that I could. And being just a one, that's hard. It's hard. You make an influence or a difference where you can. But then recently, in the last year, I've been guided to create an enterprise to become a renaissance of millions to make a difference for the planet. So it's been an interesting shift to get to that point. But I'm still on my Renaissance of One. It's just taken on a larger form at this point.
I love this. Do you mind sharing just a little bit more about that? Because that's a big shift. One, saying yes to making a positive difference however you can and bringing that forward, but then being called to step into this place of leadership where you're creating opportunities for many to touch many lives. Do you mind sharing just a little bit of how that journey has been for you?
Sure. I work very closely with some of the archangels. I work with Archangel Raphael, Michael, Gabrielle, and I work with the Divine Mother most closely. And Archangel Michael has this vision of bringing light workers across the planet together, not really in one place, but energetically and emotionally together, to lift up the world in meditation and to connect with each other, heart to heart, and to bring in more divine love. And so I was encouraged to create Enlightened World, which I think we're going to talk about in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But Enlightened World does that. It provides the platform for bringing light workers across the globe together in order to help bring about humanity and provide healing.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that and helping people see the vision a little bit. And this would actually be a perfect time for us to talk about it, so we don't have that cliffhanger. I love that. So do you mind sharing a little bit about what Enlightened World is, what it does, what it brings to the world, and the different ways it's called to impact people?
Sure. So Enlightened World at this point, there's two main focuses of it. And one piece is our website, which is www.enlightenedworld.online. And on this site, light workers, as well as people who are just interested in energy, can find a sanctuary, a safe place to be with like-minded individuals. And we have articles that light workers have written. We have prayer, and we've got a prayer request area. We've got meditations once a week. We're hoping for every day. So if any of your folks do provide meditations, do guided meditations, I would love to hear from them. But we also have advertising. We've got a marketplace that's just coming up at this point. So those are really nice parts of the website of bringing people together. But the other piece of it is having to do with Rebecca. And we have our own shows on RHG TV. And our shows are called EWN, Enlightened World Network. And we have the capacity for 20 different shows. I think at this point, we've got 18 so far. And then we've got episodes after each of those shows. So I think as of today we have 67 shows up, which is not nearly as many as we would want. We have the capacity for almost 1,100. So we are expanding our reach to bring in light workers that have podcasts where they want to share their message with the world. So we are that avenue for doing that. Those are the two main parts of Enlightened World at this point.
No, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. And as you're sharing, listeners, whether you yourself are a light worker or you are wanting to connect in and be encouraged and uplifted light workers, I really encourage you to tap into these resources that Dr. Ruth is making available. Every time I go and I watch one of your shows or meditations, or I'm even scrolling through the episodes, there's this powerful energy that comes through that's supportive, that's positive, uplifting, and inspires growth. And I appreciate that about the work that you're bringing to the world. And for those light workers that are looking for an avenue to reach more people, really connect in with Dr. Ruth. She's creating so many opportunities, absolutely being led by Spirit to bring forward to help you reach more people. So I appreciate the work that you do. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. Sharing a little bit about it and giving people a flavor and a taste of this. And I want to kind of circle back to where this began, because we're at the beginning of the year. It's January 10th. I'm thinking about when you talked about being a Renaissance of one, right? Creating that. And then being called to involve many and potentially millions in it. You're being called in that place. That's a big vision. That's a soul's mission. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about that, how you are able to step into that vision, how you are able to tap into that soul mission, and any advice you might give people that in the beginning of the year, as we're tapping in, sometimes we have these big visions and missions given to us. I'd love for you to talk about that.
Well, I can tell you, Rebecca, it was not always smooth sailing, because the growth that I needed to undertake was monstrous. And one of the first things I had to get over was being an introvert. This work needs an extrovert, needs somebody who's willing to come to the table and share with other people my own personal beliefs. So that was huge for me. But my promise every day is that I'm going to check in with God and my archangels, because they are giving me the direction. They're giving me the to-do list every morning. It's crazy, but every morning in meditation, I write down the things that I'm being told to do, and then I go out into the world and I do them. And sometimes those are very scary things, like have your own weekly radio podcast. That was really scary to me. But now I'm helping empower other people to have their own podcast. So to me, it's really that time every day of sitting with my source, my God, hearing that they are supporting, God and the archangels are supporting this work, and having it being supported by angels from the ethereal realm. That's what keeps pushing me forward and giving me direction. I would be back to Renaissance of one if I wasn't listening and taking action on what they're telling me every single day.
Well, and I would also think great encouragement when you've got angels standing behind your work, when you're on a mission and you know every day they're going to give you that direction, the next step, and they're supporting the work that you're doing. How does that feel? I would think it would feel encouraging and empowering, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'd love to know how that feels for you.
It is so encouraging and so empowering. And really, in these last couple of years, I can only think of maybe once or twice that I would prepare my mind and my heart and just be open and go into meditation. And I felt like I was the only one there. And it was like, okay, stop. You all promised you would be there. How come I'm not feeling anybody there? And those couple of times, I was told, because you need to figure this part out. You need to learn this part on your own. And as soon as I learned what I was supposed to learn, my guys were right back in there, and I realized I was never abandoned. They were just giving me time and space to figure something out that I had to do on my own. But I get excited. I wake up every morning at 5 because I can't wait to go spend time with them and figure out what we're doing today. And it's always something that's moving either Enlightened World forward or one of the light workers that I'm working with forward. It's very exciting for me.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I can hear that passion. I can hear that excitement and that knowing that you're on a mission and bringing it forward. And you have this whole team walking right beside you, bringing you forward. And those times where it is time to stretch or grow on your own, that peace that they're still right there, holding their hand out, waiting as you take those steps and grow and expand.
Yes.
And so what I'm hearing a little bit as I reflect on what you're sharing is there is this process of stopping, pausing, checking in, getting direction, getting guidance. And you have a willing spirit. You are ready and willing to take those actions. Even if they're scary, even if they're stretching, you're willing to do it and to keep taking those steps. And I think that is really powerful, and all of us can be encouraged that do the steps, do the action, not just staying in the someday it would be great, here are things that could be done, but you're putting them into action and helping all of this come forth.
And I do believe, Rebecca, that as I take those steps, even when it's uncomfortable, I do believe that the archangels and God and the universe says, oh, guys, she's willing to do these steps, so let's give her more.
Yep.
Give her more options, more possibilities.
I think it's so beautiful. And boy, what we can do when we're on purpose, when we're willing to tap into that guidance and that direction, we're willing to say yes and keep stepping forward. I celebrate that about you. I love that your heart and spirit is that way, and it's impacting so many people. And we're just at the beginning of this vision that you've been given as it comes forward, step by step by step. And I just thank you for being part of our show today, being willing to share in this space. And listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break here, I want to let you know a couple of things that are coming up. One, today is a special day because Dr. Ruth Anderson is launching her book today, Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit. And it's launching today on Amazon.com. And in honor of that launch, you're able to get it for a special $1 rate for the next 24 to 48 hours. So please, as you're listening to our conversation, if you're feeling a pull in your heart and spirit and really tapping into this, walking with spirit and listening to light, I want to encourage you to lean in to saying yes to that resource today, to let it walk beside you and support you on your journey. When we come back, we're going to dig in a little bit more to some of her books and where she's being led in that work, as well as giving you a taste of listening to light. So enjoy these 2 minutes. Give yourself the opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate what's being spoken into your heart and spirit. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you've been enjoying those 2 minutes, giving yourself an opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and receive everything that is pouring into your heart and spirit. And we've been talking with the amazing Dr. Ruth Anderson, and I was sharing that today, one of the reasons today is a special day, is that she launched her book this morning. And her new book, which is called Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit, is available today on Amazon for $1 for the next 24 to 48 hours. So a special day. We're celebrating the launch with her, and what an honor for her to take time with us today to share with us and connect in. And so we're continuing our conversation with an amazing light worker who is committed to helping more people bring their light forward and impact as many people around the world as we can. So I just am excited to be talking with you, Dr. Ruth, and I'd love to shift our conversation to some of your books, because we're launching a book today. So it's beautiful to be able to talk a little bit about the books that you have been led. You know, you were sharing in our previous segment how each day you're getting that list of the actions to take, the to-do, the messages to bring forth, and you're willing and you say yes. And that's led to several books that you've brought forward. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about them. Well, let me go through them one at a time. Is that okay?
Sure, absolutely.
Feel good to you? So the first one I'd love for you to talk a little bit about is One Love, Divine Healing at the Open Clinic.
Okay. So this was the beginning of my embracing being an intuitive. That was a several-year journey. So that's in this book. And also, more importantly, what's in this book is I was shown through meditation a place in the ethereal realm where souls can go for healing. And that healing might be on an emotional or a spiritual or even a physical basis. But souls can go there, whether they're still in a body or whether they've passed over already, and receive healing from the archangels or God, whoever's there doing the healing that day. So I had the privilege of seeing that many, many times. So that's what I've written about in this first book.
Beautiful. So it's actually your own journey and what you've been able to see and experience and bring that information to us. Is that a correct
That is correct. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. And do you mind sharing a little bit about the style that you write in? Because I think it's really powerful and unique.
As I meditate, I'm jotting down what I'm seeing or what I'm learning. And how I write is how I do my journaling, actually. When I pull together my books, I go through my journals and I see what are the lessons that have been provided here. So it's very, it's a narrative form, and it comes in small little vignettes, so it's easy to digest. It's not a story. It's just small little vignettes of what I've been taught.
Yes. I think it's a really powerful format because we take a piece at a time and we get to learn with you, which is great. Now, the second book that you just released this last year was Walking with Spirit, Divine Illuminations on Life, Death, and Beyond. And this book, I had the privilege and honor to read in depth, and I found it so alive and stretching and growing. And you had to you interacted with it. That's what I was. It's choice, not that you had to, but I found I was compelled to go deeper, to process, to seek more, meditate more, pray more as I processed the information shared in this book. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about Walking with Spirit.
Walking with Spirit does challenge the reader. It challenged me as the writer, and I would have to go back into meditation. I would need to take time away just to assimilate what was being shared with me. So I pray that the readers will also have that kind of a challenging experience of growth for themselves as a soul and a person in a body with a soul. Walking with Spirit was a compilation of messages that I was taught about life and death and what happens after we die. So it gives a lot of very specific information about the Cathedral of Souls, the different levels of the Cathedral of Souls, what a soul goes through at the moment of death, the dark tunnel, the panel, where it's discussed what level of the afterlife we're going to. I personally find it all very fascinating, and sometimes I can't believe I wrote the book. I look back through it and I think, holy cow, I experienced that. The learnings on a soul level have been quite profound, and so much of it is in Walking with Spirit.
Yes. And I know that many of the reviewers had very similar experiences too. And they're like, wow, I'm going to go back and read that section again. I'm going to explore that again. Or that's what happens. Like a lot of those questions we wonder, I feel like this book gives some really powerful information around that. And I believe you've actually prepared a reading from that book for us today. And I would love to hand the floor over and have you share what was laid on your heart to share with us today from Walking with Spirit.
I would love to. Actually, every time I pick up the book, it opens to this page. So there's somebody in the world that needs to hear this little vignette. It's called 20 Minutes to Heaven. My mother-in-law, Helen, passed away from a long, drawn-out battle with cancer at 7 a.m. in a nearby hospice. As I was home with our sleeping daughters, my husband, Wayne, called to inform me. At 7:20 a.m., I was standing in my bathroom combing my hair. Through my tears, I was shocked when my attention was drawn to a space outside of my body. I had to stop and pay attention. I had a vision of a bright, white, divine light, followed by true joy. I laughed as my tears turned to tears of joy. I was astounded. Wasn't I supposed to be feeling sad? I called my husband to share what I had noticed. Driving across town, he had been given the same vision. Although neither of us knew anything about energy, Mom did a great job of getting her message across. What a beautiful gift to know that Mom was okay. I smiled and thought that it must take 20 minutes to get to heaven.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And that is a vignette from Walking with Spirit, Divine Illuminations on Life, Death, and Beyond. So I appreciate Dr. Ruth, you sharing that piece that just keeps coming forward, wanting to be shared. That's beautiful.
It does, yes.
And then shifting our focus to your new book that is being launched and released today, called Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit. I'd love for you to share a little bit about this book, its energy, what is being called forth, and I'd love for you to share the title. I think it's such an unusual title, Listening to Light. It's not light. It's not watching light. It's listening to light. I'd love for you to share about that.
I do spend a lot of time in meditation in the morning, and Divine Mother taught me that when I am connecting with the divinity during meditation, I'm listening to the divine light. And she actually had me switch over because I had been writing about energy. 2 whole books now. And she taught me, no, you're now writing about light. You're writing about the divine light and the archangels and God and Christ and the Divine Mother and how their love comes down through divine light. So I was listening to light.
And understanding that shift and what it really is and you're called to bring forth is beautiful. Now, the second part of the title is Love Letters from Walking with Spirit. So how do these tie together?
When I was writing the book, Walking with Spirit, of course I was in meditation and I was told, you aren't writing one book, you are writing 2 books. And I was told they were going to be twins and that I would be birthing them, incubating them at the same time. And I knew that one was Walking with Spirit, but then I was shown all of these personal lessons that I was being taught while I was walking with Spirit. And that's where the 2 different names came from.
Beautiful. Now, I'm just reflecting on the covers, too, because I know that you put so much thought and feeling and meditation into how you even select the covers and that they are a beautiful kind of container for the content for the book that you're bringing forward. Can you give us a picture of each of these books? So One Love, Walking with Spirit, and Listening to Light, what each of those covers kind of looks like and feels like.
I can tell you I'm not actually the one that chose them. It was during meditation that I was told which pictures to use. And when I tried to fluctuate from those pictures, I kept being brought back to those pictures. So even working with cover designers, and they would say, well, let's tweak it this way. It's like, no, I'm sorry, it really needs to be in its original form. So I know I've driven cover artists crazy in really sticking to what Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel and Divine Mother told me I should be using. So, yes, my daughter took the photo on Walking with Spirit, and I took the photo on Listening to Light. So they've been handpicked, but not by me.
Well, I love that. And can you give a quick description of them just for our listeners?
Yes. So Walking with Spirit, it's a beach scene, and there's the sunset, and there's these interesting light balls. I don't know how to do. I think they're called bouquets, B-O-K-E-H, I think is the actual term for it. But it looks like a spirit going from the earthly realm up to the ethereal realm. And I find it quite stunning. The second one, Listening to Light, part of the book takes place in Nantucket, which is where my soul finds its home. For some reason, I have no idea why, but that happens for me there. And so part of the book takes place in Nantucket, and Nantucket is known for hydrangeas. And one of my photos of hydrangeas just feels like Divine Mother. It just emanates her energy. And that was the photo I was told to use for that front. So I normally wouldn't pick flowers, but that's what was being guided to me. Beautiful. And I think that both covers really emanate a feeling. It's an energy.
They do. They do. They definitely have. And your books are not passive. They're not something you just walk by. There's really a connection and energy that I feel like comes out from them. Both the titles, the cover, and the content. All of it is something powerful that is reaching and sharing out. And I feel like there's a consistent experience for the reader. And so anyone who this book catches your eye, there's a reason for that. It's calling to you, and I think you'll be enriched by leaning into any one of her books that is calling to your heart, to your spirit, catches your eye. So I want to encourage you to honor that and that pull that may be coming on your heart and spirit. And Listening to Light, again, is launching today for a special $1 rate, $1 US, for the Kindle version for the next 24 to 48 hours. So I encourage you to lean in and say yes if the sharing that Dr. Ruth has brought forth today has been touching your heart and your spirit. You're able to bring some of that into your life on an ongoing basis. So I really encourage you to lean in. I love people to know when we have a special opportunity like that you're able to lean in and say yes. But do know it's just for those 24 to 48 hours. I don't want anyone telling me they wish they would have known. So that's why we're sharing and letting you know today is the day. As we go to our next commercial break here, these 2 minutes, I encourage you to stop, pause, and listen to what's being placed onto your heart, onto your spirit, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become a member of voiceamerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit voiceamerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. We've been talking with the amazing Dr. Ruth Anderson, just really exploring how she has leaned into her second calling so powerfully and some of how she has said yes to bringing her big vision and soul's mission forward, and then enjoying learning a little bit about her powerful books, including the one that she's launching today called Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit. And in the last segment, anyone who missed it, she did a reading from her book, Walking with Spirit. And she's generously offered to do that from her new book, Listening to Light. So with that, I'm going to hand over the floor to you and have you share a little bit about your new book that's releasing today, giving us a taste of what we can look forward to in it.
Great. This vignette is called In Left Field. Sometimes I feel like I am out in left field all by myself. But that's okay. I'm following my calling. And it is so okay for you to follow your own calling as well. Not only okay, but imperative. The world needs each of us to be conscious about fulfilling our purpose, even though our callings don't look like anyone else's. And because our callings don't look like anyone else's, it is even more imperative that we all participate. By following your calling, doing what you came here to do, it shows others that it is okay for them to be all that they are meant to become. So please, be brave. Stand in your light and follow your calling. We are counting on you.
Thank you. Listeners, I just want to give you a moment to feel that, to take that in. As that's speaking to your soul and spirit, just pause. Breathe. Feel that support. Feel that encouragement and that responsibility that you're being called forth, that we need you. And I love your expression in this section, that it's okay to be out and alone sometimes. It can feel in left field, that there is a purpose and encouragement. And as we're processing what you shared, perhaps there's a quickening of a heart or a spirit in one of our listeners today. And Dr. Ruth, perhaps they're feeling that. They're feeling that urging. And it still feels like a really big vision. And it can feel a bit daunting and isolating sometimes. What encouragement or wisdom would you share with them today?
You need to know you're not alone. You need to know that there are others that are going through the same growing pains that you are. And I encourage anybody who's feeling that way to please go to www.enlightenedworld.online, and you will find there a sanctuary, a community of people going through the same growing pains. So join us. We're right here with you.
Beautiful. So let's breathe that in, knowing that support is here right now, real time, with each and every one of you. It's been lovingly prepared and built to support you on your journey. It has been such an honor and a privilege to spend this time with you, Dr. Ruth. Thank you for being with us today in heart and spirit. So appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah.
And we celebrate your book launch today, Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit. And that was a sample reading from Listening to Light. If that quickened your spirit, uplifted you, I encourage you lean in to this special opportunity to add it to your library for $1. And it's just for this limited time. So if that can serve you, I invite you to lean in and check out this powerful world that Dr. Ruth has brought forth and is creating, and all of the light workers joining together to support and create this sanctuary and this uplifting place for growth, for bringing forward your big visions and your soul's mission. That's what it's there for, and it's here to support you on your journey, because you are not alone and you're absolutely needed. In fact, I believe you were needed for such a time as this. This is the moment. This is the time. It's not someday in the future once we have one more certification or one more thing crossed off our list. Right now, you're needed just as you are. Be willing to step into that place of influence. Be willing to share the gift of who you are with another, because you're so needed. And I hope that as you go forth, as you go back out into the world, wherever you go, whatever you do, that you will choose to bring forward what you're called to bring forth, that you will be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Go forth, have a powerful year, step more fully into your influence, and I celebrate each and every one of you being in our lives, and I look forward to seeing you shine. Take care, everybody. Talk to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.